Hello, my friends. For today's reading, I asked which archetype is present in your life today, or active in your life, or right now, I should say. They're not, archetypes generally don't come and go in a day. Anyway, the major arcana are considered the major archetype cards of the tarot deck. You could easily argue that all of the cards in a tarot deck represent various archetypes, but the major arcana are the most powerful, the strongest, the most impactful of the archetypes in a tarot deck. And you got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also known as Destiny. So I did this with the Kim Krans Wild Unknown Tarot. She also does the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. I'm sure you can see the similarities. But I chose her deck in particular for this because she is very, very conscious of, or consciously trying to work with archetypes, I think, in her art. And I thought that would be the best, she would be the best one, other than the Jungian Tarot, which I find more confusing than not. So I prefer this one. In any case, the first thing I would say about the Wheel of Fortune is to remember that it's always turning. So you might have good luck, you might have bad luck, whatever it is, it's not going to stay for long. Now, Kim Krans focuses more on destiny and change of course. Here's her entry. Whether day or night, the Wheel of Fortune is always in motion. Some call it fate, others destiny. It's possible to go for months or years without feeling its presence, but when this card appears, the eye of the wheel is fixed upon you. Don't be surprised if there's a change of course heading your way, something you'd least expect. Whatever happens to you during this time, know that it is bringing you closer to your life's purpose. All right, that's significant. Closer to your life's purpose. Oh, that's, on the one hand, that's very nice. On the other hand, it could really wreak havoc in your life as you know it. It's not a bad thing, but it might not be an easy thing. Okay, next up, of course, the question is, who are you that needs to hear this? And we have the Stingray. The Stingray from the Kim Krans Animal Spirit, Wild Unknown Animal Spirit guides is, of course, the water element, but also basically says you need to grow a spine, or maybe you have needed to grow a spine. Maybe you've been through a lot with this Wheel of Fortune card, and it has forced you to grow a spine. In which case, I'm sure it was quite unpleasant. Again, it's not a bad thing, but it's not an easy thing. All right, Stingray, developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, familiar, not necessarily healthy though, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. So Dharma is also your purpose, your life's purpose. You have two cards here referring to life's purpose. So obviously it's been on your mind a lot, because the Stingray is representing who you are, while the archetype is what, the unconscious or universal force that's at work within you. When in balance, eager, wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others and quits. To bring into balance, move through the discomfort. So recognize that you can't avoid the discomfort, And I'm sure it is very uncomfortable. You're going to have to, it's the old saying, the only way out is through. So I know it's not a happy thing to hear, but it's part of the process. And you will survive it and continue on your way, assuming you don't fight it too hard. I do strongly recommend that you don't fight it. You may be going through an ego death or dark night of the soul, whichever term you prefer. I would not be surprised. But perhaps you've already been through it. If you're at the stage now where you're ready to find your dharma, your purpose in life, maybe you're ready to find it. Maybe you've grown the spine already. Although it refers to a crossroads, so maybe you have to decide whether or not to go for it. It's probably going to be wildly unfamiliar and strange and weird and out of line with everything in your life right now. That doesn't make it the wrong thing to do. It just makes it unfamiliar and uncomfortable. All right. So the Tarot of the Orishas has been trying to come out for like 2 weeks now. And I keep putting it back. So let's see what it has to say. Nothing yet. Oh, here we go. Obatala. Oshala. Interesting. Whoops. All right. Now we have Omulu. Babaluala. They've all got more than one name on them, so. Chango or Shango might also be wanting to say something here. Anybody else have a message for us today? They've been getting into my I Ching cards too. Okay. Oh, message from water. Looks a lot like Aphrodite. Looks like a cross between Aphrodite and the Chariot card. And we have the Five of Water in reverse. And the Nine of Earth. All right, that's a lot to look at. Let's see what we've got. So these two are the only minor arcana cards you have. Message from Water is, so there aren't any court cards in this deck. There is a message from water, or a message from each of the four elements, and that's it in terms of court cards. So it's not a true court card at all. And then you have these three cards, which are major arcana, and let's see what they have to say for themselves. Chango, or Shango. Justice. Wow. So we have Justice, Obatala, which is the Emperor. Justice, the Emperor, Babaluala, which is the Hermit. And then we have the Message of Water. Sounds like somebody's been doing a lot of work, a lot of healing. Well, that makes sense. That's why you're at that crossroads, right? You wouldn't be at the crossroads if you hadn't already done a lot of work. The finding your purpose, your dharma, comes after you've done the healing. All right, message from water. Triumphant victory, full of satisfaction. Purposes are fulfilled in any level or plane. At the beginning it may be somehow costly, but nevertheless very pleasant. Use the rational things to obtain the balance. So it seems you are choosing to move ahead with your purpose. Purposes are fulfilled in any level or plane. At the beginning it may be somehow costly, but nevertheless very pleasant. Well, this is true of your purpose. It's not going to feel bad to do your purpose. What's going to be bad is the reactions of others. And I shouldn't even say bad. It's just going to be really uncomfortable because it's going to be, they're going to look at it and think you've lost your mind, probably. They'll think you've gone completely nuts. I want to look at Chango, balance. I keep thinking of it as balance. It's justice. Judges and magistrates, concepts of justice, equality, and equity. Deals and documentations, examination and studies. Righteous and impartial person. Fair, thoughtful. So you're bringing justice to someone. Maybe yourself. Your thoughts on what is just have changed. Equality and equity are big issues. And it seems you've put a lot of thought into them. And you've got the Hermit here, so that is definitely a time to go within and think things through. And generally find your light. And of course, the Emperor would represent the positive aspects of the animus, the masculine, or what is labeled as the masculine traits within everyone. Let's see, there it is. No, I already looked at that. All right. Father, master, ruler, or kind mandator, right judge and ruler, intelligence, wisdom, peace and happiness, divine protection, priesthood. So the thing to remember about the Emperor is that they don't lead through right or might. They lead through example. They lead through how they live their life. By being and personifying all these positive aspects, not just talking about them. They don't demand. They're not tyrannical, they're not controlling. They are protective and consistent and fair. All right, so it seems you are making huge strides in those areas. So much so that it is time for you to move on to your dharma, your purpose. That's a wonderful thing. But again, not easy. And we have the 5 of water and the 9 of earth, both in reverse. So in traditional tarot, the 5 of water in reverse would be that you've learned some difficult and painful lessons, emotional lessons, and that you are now ready to move on from those lessons and reap the rewards. Reversed, there is the possibility of clinging to a new hope. If karma is favorable, you may seek for love and to be loved. You bring together a new group of friends and a different scale of values. This is all consistent with finding your Dharma, because you're going to be attracting in new people, different people. It's going to create change in your life, big change in your life, in many areas. You're probably going to lose a lot of people who used to be a very big part of your life. 9 of Earth. Your pose may cause you to lose your home, partner, or family. If you remain alone, you may be robbed or be the victim of burglary. An exodus is inclined to bring apprenticeships and also any kind of perils. So you're struggling with this, all this change. You're struggling with losing your family, your community, a lot of long-lasting relationships will have to undergo a great deal of change, or be gone altogether. This is, again, you will be attracting in new people, different relationships, a different community. And that's a big transition. But it is a normal part of the process when you go through this kind of change. Wow. All right. Let's wrap it up with a message from the Oracle. I mean, there's big doings in your life. And I congratulate you on going ahead and doing all of this. A lot of people chicken out, and that does not lead to a happy life, I can tell you that. In some cases, it leads to a rather short life. But people can be so afraid of change. So you can be proud of yourself for being courageous enough to change. And finding your Dharma is always something that brings happiness in the long run. And so few people do it. Let's see, what is your message? Your closing message for those of you who are trying to find your Dharma. Oh, you got 3 cards? Oh, that's a lot. Okay. We have number 10, Unfinished Symphony. Number 40, Co-Create. And number 18, Serendipity. So, spread these out so you can see them better. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a face in this egg. I think it's an egg. Looks like a robin's egg. And anyway, in any case, sorry. Let's start with number 10. Unfinished Symphony. Essential meanings. Unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, or the needs to make amends. The Oracle's message: this is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. So radical acceptance is accepting that others are who and what they are, and you have no control over them. You only have control over yourself. So it's a very powerful thing to accept, and it can be very painful as well. But it's a very healthy understanding to have in the long run. You cannot control anyone or anything else. You can only control yourself. And if you stick to that and make your decisions based on that, you'll be making healthier decisions and choices. All right. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Protection message. When unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. Don't overthink things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Don't quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. All right, next in line is 40 with my favorite big cat on it, a cheetah. And it is co-create. Essential meanings: creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, manifestation. The Oracle's message. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you are creating your reality every moment of every day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with Spirit, Consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you're aligned with it to create miracles. When you view your life as art and you know you co-create it, only beauty and grace result. Prepare to be amazed. And remember what I said about radical acceptance, that you are in control of you and nobody else. You don't control anybody else. They don't control you. Protection message. You are trying too hard to create all that you desire without the nurturing vital force of spirit. Perhaps you are in a creative slump, suffering writer's block, facing a monumental task but unable to decide on your first step, so you just avoid doing anything. Does the word overwhelmed apply to you right now? Why do you think it all has to come down to you? Inspiration means the drawing in of divine guidance. You must tap into spirit, not simply yourself. Ask spirit for inspiration. Two minds are greater than one, so co-create with your divine partner. Reclaim your partnership with spirit. Inspiration will flow through you as soon as you get out of your own way. And finally, number 18, serendipity. Essential meanings: opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. The Oracle's message. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. Protection message. Perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one. Yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties in order to deliver an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need, and is guiding you to where you are meant to go. Pay attention to the signs presented to you. Okay. So, I strongly recommend you don't get caught up in feeling sorry for yourself over what you are losing or have lost. If that's what you're struggling with right now, better things are ahead if you cooperate and keep going. Keep using your spine. I wish you all the best.